Have you ever wondered what it really takes to escape poverty? Why is it that some people, despite all their efforts, find it so hard to break free? Today we're going to dive deep into this crucial question. Whether you're trying to climb out of the cycle yourself or you're interested in understanding why this challenge persists, we'll break down the barriers, mindsets, and strategies that hold people back, and more importantly, what it takes to overcome them. Before we begin, if you're new here or you haven't already, please take a moment to hit that subscribe button. It means a lot to us, and it helps us continue creating valuable content like this that empowers you to reach your fullest potential. Now, let's get started. Escaping poverty is a complex journey that involves more than just money. It's about addressing deep-seated systemic, psychological, and behavioral patterns. Poverty isn't just a lack of income. It's a situation where individuals and families lack the basic necessities to live a decent life: education, healthcare, shelter, and the opportunity to advance. While many people think poverty can be solved through hard work alone, the reality is far more nuanced. Poverty is often intergenerational, meaning that people are born into conditions where opportunities are scarce and the challenges seem insurmountable. For many, it's not just about lifting themselves out, but also overcoming decades, if not centuries, of systemic barriers. One of the key questions we need to explore is, why is it so hard to escape poverty? Poverty, by its very nature, is a cycle. Once someone falls into it or is born into it, multiple factors combine to keep them trapped. Here are some of the major reasons why it's so challenging. First, lack of access to quality education. Education is often hailed as the primary escape route from poverty. But for those living in impoverished conditions, accessing quality education is difficult. Schools in low-income areas tend to be underfunded, leading to overcrowded classrooms, outdated materials, and disengaged teachers. Even when individuals manage to complete their education, the lack of networks and social capital often means they don't have the same opportunities as their wealthier counterparts. Inadequate education also means that many people are unaware of their rights or the resources available to them, making it even harder to navigate a system designed to keep them down. Second, employment opportunities are scarce. In many impoverished areas, good jobs simply don't exist. People are left with limited employment opportunities, often in low-wage positions that barely cover basic expenses. This leads to the phenomenon known as working poor, where people are employed but still live below the poverty line because their wages don't match the cost of living. Additionally, those born into poverty are often excluded from more lucrative industries due to a lack of education, experience, or connections. They face an uphill battle against systems that favor those already at the top. Third, high cost of living versus low wages. One of the most pressing issues is the growing gap between wages and the cost of living. Housing prices, healthcare, education, and everyday necessities continue to rise, while wages have stagnated for many. People living in poverty are often forced to make tough choices, whether to pay rent or buy food, whether to seek medical care or pay for their child's education. These impossible decisions make it extremely difficult to save or invest in the future. Fourth, debt and lack of financial literacy. Debt is another significant barrier to escaping poverty. Many individuals in poverty rely on loans and credit cards to cover emergencies, medical bills, or even daily expenses. With high interest rates, debt can snowball quickly, making it impossible to escape without outside help. Moreover, people living in poverty often lack access to financial literacy resources that could teach them how to manage money, save, or invest. Predatory lending practices also disproportionately target low-income individuals, further deepening their financial struggles. Fifth, systemic discrimination. Many marginalized groups, based on race, gender, disability, or immigration status, are disproportionately affected by poverty. Systemic discrimination in hiring, pay, housing, and education means that even when individuals from these groups work hard, they face additional obstacles that others do not. This can make the climb out of poverty feel like a mountain, especially when the system seems designed to keep certain groups at the bottom. Sixth, mental and physical health issues. Poverty takes a severe toll on both mental and physical health. Living in constant stress about finances, lack of access to nutritious food, unsafe living environments, and overwork can lead to chronic health problems. Poor health makes it harder to work, attend school, or maintain stable employment, further reinforcing the cycle of poverty. People in poverty often cannot afford health care or take time off work to recover from illness, creating a vicious cycle where poor health leads to less income, and less income leads to worse health outcomes. Seventh, social and psychological barriers. The psychological burden of poverty is often underestimated. When people are stuck in a cycle of poverty, they may develop a sense of hopelessness or defeat. Constant financial stress wears down resilience, and many feel they have no control over their future. There's also a phenomenon called poverty mindset, where individuals make short-term decisions due to immediate financial pressure, even when these decisions harm their long-term well-being. Living day-to-day in survival mode leaves little room for planning for the future or taking risks that might lead to upward mobility. Despite the overwhelming obstacles, escaping poverty is possible. However, it requires a combination of personal effort, systemic change, and external support. Here's what it really takes. Access to quality education is one of the most important factors in escaping poverty. This doesn't just mean formal education, but also vocational training and adult education. Learning new skills that are in demand, such as technology, healthcare, or trades, can significantly increase earning potential. There needs to be more emphasis on affordable education options, scholarships, and community-based learning opportunities to ensure that individuals from low-income backgrounds have the same access to education as others. Escaping poverty requires not just jobs, but jobs that pay a living wage. Communities and governments need to focus on creating employment opportunities in impoverished areas, providing access to higher-paying jobs through training and apprenticeships, and fighting for fair wages that match the cost of living. Labor rights and protections, including the fight for a higher minimum wage, are crucial in ensuring that people can live comfortably without being forced to work multiple jobs just to make ends meet. For many, a huge portion of their income goes to housing and health care. These two sectors need drastic reform if poverty is to be reduced. Affordable housing initiatives, rent controls, and policies to reduce the cost of health care can help individuals retain more of their income to invest in savings, education, or starting a business. Teaching financial literacy is essential. Many people in poverty don't know how to manage their finances because they've never been taught. Financial literacy programs need to be readily available in schools, communities, and online, teaching people how to save, invest, and build wealth over time. Wealth-building strategies such as budgeting, saving, investing in assets, and avoiding bad debt are crucial to breaking the cycle of poverty. Changing one's mindset can have a profound effect on escaping poverty. While systemic changes are needed, individuals can also benefit from shifting their perspectives on money, success, and failure. A poverty mindset leads to short-term thinking and fear-driven decisions, whereas an abundance mindset encourages long-term planning, calculated risks, and personal development. Coaching, mentorship, and community support groups can help individuals break free from negative thought patterns and empower them to take control of their lives. While individual actions can help break the cycle of poverty, systemic change is equally important. Governments, businesses, and communities need to work together to address the root causes of poverty. This includes: governments must focus on policies that promote fair wages, affordable health care, and accessible education. Social safety nets, such as unemployment benefits, food assistance, and healthcare programs, should be strengthened to provide security to those struggling to make ends meet. Entrepreneurship is a powerful way to escape poverty. However, starting a business requires access to capital, education, and mentorship, resources that are often out of reach for people living in poverty. Initiatives that support small businesses, offer low-interest loans, and provide business education can help empower individuals to take control of their financial future. To truly eliminate poverty, we need to address the systemic discrimination, that keeps certain groups at the bottom. This includes creating equal opportunities in education, employment, and housing, as well as reforming laws and practices that disproportionately harm marginalized communities. So what does it take to escape poverty? It's a combination of hard work, education, financial literacy, and systemic change. But let's not sugarcoat it. It's tough. The system isn't always set up to help those at the bottom, but that doesn't mean it's impossible. With the right mindset, resources, and support, anyone can rise above the circumstances they were born into. But we also need to work together to demand changes that make it easier for everyone to thrive. If you're someone who's been struggling, or if you know someone stuck in the cycle of poverty, remember, change is possible. It's not easy, but it's worth fighting for. And that's why we're here, to help you with strategies, insights, and motivation to break free. If you found value in this video, please subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us reach more people who need this kind of content, and it means a lot to us as we continue to create resources for personal and financial growth. Thank you for watching, and remember, you have the power to shape your future. Until next time, keep striving.